Hello everybody, welcome back to the road to 1600. I've been off for a week trying to watch some videos again and practice and study because I am in a world of pain and hurt when it comes to chess. I am doing so poorly, I'm not seeing the board well, and it is frustrating. I would love to commiserate with anybody in the comments if you have also been through just a tough stretch of games. I have 3 games to show you today that I've played recently, and none of them are good. None of them. I am on a huge losing streak, and any progress I've made recently is pretty much gone. Without further ado, let's just jump right into these games because this is sad. So, starting off is White. London. I'm going to skip ahead for the first couple moves because the London system doesn't require too much theory. Alright, kick that bishop out, take, and I want to get this knight up here eventually to put him in the center. So let's block, let's kick the bishop out. Maybe I should have gone up here to try to lock this bishop in here. I don't know. Alright, queen comes out, I get my bishop in there, take with the pawn to kick that knight out. Perfect. Computer didn't like this one, but I was eyeing up this space right here since there was like nothing else right here. So, okay, plan is done. Good move, fair play. All right, let's just try to take control of the center a little bit. Let's just try to recuperate. I feel like when I play the London, I have a strategy, and if they castle kingside, okay, maybe I can shove all my pieces onto the right side of the board and it'll all be fine. And when they castle queenside, it's like, okay, now what? I don't know. I don't have a good answer. All right, he's starting to come in on the queen side. I was getting pressured. I want to defend my bishop. Okay, perfect. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. So now he's got this file open right here. He's got this attack. He's got this attack, you know, pinning my pawn right there. Okay, here it comes. All right, I saw a fork. I'm like, all right, sweet. I can get both of these pieces. Didn't even occur to me that he could take, which is exactly what happened. So, okay, the computer says, oh my God, now you have a chance. Just kidding, you don't have any chance. You're playing mostly blunders and you've blundered this whole game away. Because in theory, I could have taken with my queen defended by my pawn. Then if he comes down here for check, I can take, or everything is looking much better if I take with my queen. And that's pretty much the game, to be honest with you, because this is going to come in, this is going to come in, everything is going to be bad. The queen is just going to destroy my entire position. So, check, dodge, check, discovered check. Boom, lose the queen, boom, lose the rook. Boom, boom, boom. And everything is pretty much bad at that point. I'm not going to go through the rest of the game. You get the point. It was all one mistake that just swung everything. You know, it was one move right there. I was like, cool, I just got a bishop for a pawn. And my pawn is my queen is protecting this, and man, it's just terrible. So, that's one loss on the board. Okay, we go back to another game, playing as White. All right, London. The London is not doing well for me right now because it is so one-dimensional, or I play it so one-dimensionally. All right, we set up normally, nothing too crazy, perfect. Still about an even position, you know, I might even have a slight advantage. Okay, nothing too crazy. I castle queenside to try to get my rooks involved because the last game, my rooks weren't involved in the game whatsoever. Okay, we get a little pressure. Yep, I've seen this before. Yep, I've seen this before. Yep. Okay, I've seen this before. I'm winning the game. I have an advantage, 12 moves in, and I'm doing fine. Okay, the queen comes out. It's not a protected queen right now, so I figured, okay, the queen just left her side of the board, so let me throw some pieces onto the queen side of the board to try to put some pressure in there. And I know my queen is protected here. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good, you know. I went with the London, but I abandoned the London once things start to get a little dicey, and that's what's happening. So I was like, all right, cool, let's trade queens, boom. I'm all right with that. I've got a great position. What I probably need to do is bring this guy over here. Okay, fair enough. Let's just go into check. When in doubt, go into check. Okay, another check. My knight is hanging right now, so that's not good. Okay, he comes and puts pressure on my rook. And I was like, I have something here. There is something here. I'm putting on pressure. This is one of the chess puzzles, I feel like. Okay, find the winning move. Find the checkmate. You know, come up here and I don't know. Like, I could not find a move where I was able to maintain a piece. Like, my knight is hanging and I'm just diving around with checks, check, check, check. You know, I can't go here. You know, I can come back here, but then lose this. Like, everything is just not good, and I feel like I rushed into a fight with not enough soldiers. So I was like, I guess just let me protect my rook, lose the knight, bring the other rook over, and that's it. Like, it's so bad. Check, check. And then I've got his king into the corner. Like, I'm running around trying to get him in, and I would just love to throw my rook right over here, but he just gets taken by this pesky piece. And even his two bishops, like, you know, he's not seeing anything, and like that piece is blocked. So these two bishops are essentially not a part of the game. And I cannot figure out how to get that final mate. And I would love to be able to just get rid of this piece or something. And like, maybe I should have brought him up like sooner in order to put some pressure on this bishop so I could get my rook down here and get engaged in the fight. I was like, all right, sweet. Now that that pawn is gone, okay, you know, he's essentially not in the game right now because I got these two pawns blocking it. So it's essentially light squared bishop versus rook and light squared bishop versus rook right now. So I was like, I don't know how to checkmate this guy. And he only has this move for his king. I was like, I've got him pinned. Like, I'm doing well, and I don't know how to finish this off. Okay, you bring him over. Okay, let's just bring everybody in. So, okay, I'm all right with that. This guy still really isn't involved in the game all that much. So I just gotta bring it home somehow. I'm thinking to myself, all right, do I come down here? You know, he can't take me, or like, do I come down here, you know, take, and then he can kind of get out of the way and the pawn comes down? I don't know. I'm just in a tough spot. So we dance around and I was like, all right, let me just see if I can get this pawn over here. And I was like, all right, let me see if you can just defend everything. And with it, those series of checks, I moved my king out of the way, and my opponent actually entered the game chat and was like, hey, good game. And I'm down so bad right now, like everything is going so bad that I was like, hey man, give me a pity draw because we played a great game. We played 47 moves in, like, just take it easy on me because I'm terrible at chess. And he was like, okay, we'll each take an ELO or lose 1 or 0 or whatever. He was like, I'll take pity on you because you're so bad at this game. And I was like, thank the Lord. I'm running out of time. I got no pieces left. I am so frustrated with this game right now. He was like, yeah, you're really bad. I'll take pity on you. I said, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, so that brings me to my most recent game, which I just got done playing. And playing as black. So, Carl Khan once again. And I tried to focus on castling as soon as I can. I mean, maybe I didn't need to bring my bishop all that far out. Maybe I only needed to bring my bishop right here. But the goal was to castle, worry about the rest later. So, all right, develop normally. I'm looking to go right here to pin the rook and the queen. He threatens my queen. I have to move my queen, and then I'm eyeing up this. You know, I still have this in mind, but I am trying to put an attack right here. You know, go check right here. He's got to move, and that was kind of the plan. So then he castles, and then I feel like I have a plan, and then I see a castle to either side, honest to God, and everything's just out the window. Like, all my planning just goes away. And you know what? As I'm looking at this board right now, I didn't even see, like, this check, take, and then swing into here. Actually, no. That would even come in here. He takes, queen comes in here, check. He's got to dive over here, and then maybe I do something else, but I didn't even see that. That's just where I'm at right now. I'm just not seeing the board very well at all. So I was like, let me just kick the bishop out. And I mean, 2 moves ago, like, I had an advantage. Like, I'm 8 moves in, I have a slight advantage, and I feel like that's where I'm at with my last couple games. Like, my openings aren't bad, I'm trying to take space, but when I have to try to think tactically and try to find moves, I am really, really struggling to figure out where to go with my pieces or where my plan of attack, where the weakness is. And it's really getting frustrating. So he comes over, puts some pressure on my queen. I want to keep my queen kind of involved in the defense. And by doing so, I leave my bishop hanging. I mean, maybe I should have gone here instead of here. So, down a piece. Let's just kick him out. We'll take him. We're back up a piece, though. I don't think he saw, to be honest with you, I don't think he saw this coming right up here. I'm happy I saw it. I haven't been seeing anything. So he moves his bishop away. And, so, all right. Let's just put some pressure over here on the king side. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's got half his pawns on white squares, and he's got his light squared bishop up here. So his light square bishop is essentially out of the game. So let me focus my attack more on the queen side. And maybe that was a bad move to move my knight. He was kind of strong up here. I could have protected him a little bit more. But I was like, let me just weaken his defenses over here a little bit. And I'm going to start moving some forces over onto the queen side. So we go back and forth a little bit. I didn't want to get, any pressure from that knight over there. And we're pretty even, 21 moves in. He puts some pressure on me. I take, he takes back. I thought I had a nice little outpost. He's not defended, but it is a little outpost right here to try to put some pressure on his main pieces back here, and his rook isn't even in the game yet. So he puts some pressure on me. I put some pressure on his rook. He slides his rook over. I put some more pressure on him. Totally forgot that his queen was protecting this bishop, so I can't just dive in there because that would be a bishop for rook trade, and that would be bad. So I was like, let me now take this piece because his bishop is no longer there defending it, and then maybe I can start to work my knight in, and I gotta get rid of this pawn somehow so I can have this file, and he's not really in the game anymore, so it's not looking good. So because it wasn't looking good at that time, I said, let's trade queens because I don't really have that much more going on for me. So, okay, I'll take that bishop. You can have my knight. I can see that I'm going to get a discovered check here in a second, so I move out of the way. That brought me back down to equal. So I was like, I need to get my rook involved. We got a bunch of pawns. Pawns are even. 2 rooks available. Okay, lost that pawn. Didn't want to trade rooks. And here's where, I didn't really have that much of a plan, and now I'm down 3 pawns. I really messed up right here. I should have gone into another check, forced him to move back, and then somehow brought in my other rook up to help out with this, because I think this is where the game turned. You can see, he made that mistake coming down here, and now I have all the momentum. So I was like, all right, let me just scoop up the pawn. We'll go into check again, and this guy still isn't doing anything. I mean, I had my eye on this pawn here, but he still isn't doing anything. So I was like, all right, I'll scoop up the pawn, And my position is just slowly and slowly worsening because he controls both of these files around my king, so my king can't do anything. I'd love to get my king in here to start to like scoop up some of these pawns, but it's just trapped. So I was like, I don't want to leave my rook hanging. And he gets my rook, and so it's all bad. I mean, there's 20 more moves here, so I'll go pretty fast, but it's all just bad. Everything is just bad. Yeah, could have checkmated me like 6 times. I thought he was toying with me a little bit, which maybe he was, and he earns that right. So, one more. Oh my god. This is terrible. It's terrible. Everything is going so poorly. I'm making stupid mistakes. I'm not seeing the board well, and I've lost, I think, 8 of my last 10, maybe more than that. It's frustrating. It's frustrating, and if anybody has any tips on how to do better, how to see the board better, because I'm playing well in practice. I'm playing the bots. I'm doing the puzzles. I am playing well when I think that, like when I'm trying to get ready for these online games, because believe me, I actually take them seriously, believe it or not. And I just can't seem to put it together on the main stage. So if anybody has any tips, I would love to hear them. So I'll go ahead and wrap up. Thank you for watching the video. If you've made it this far, I greatly appreciate it. Leave me some words of encouragement in the comments if you can, because I need it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks.